Very difficult to follow up the act after Subhash and the amazing story of Sangeeta, but I'll try and do my best. Great journey. Also, Chai Point and No Broker are amazing stories to follow up with. Zoozle is basically been live for 2 months, so there is not much data. I'm sure you must be kind of listening to so much of information. Difficult, it's like a monologue. So let's do something different. How long does it take to start a business, whether it's manufacturing or whether it is trading, distribution, or whatever it is? We'll just hold on to that slide, please. Yeah. Anything that you want to build on technology takes a long time, right? So, yeah. So, I have a request. Are we ready to take a 10-minute challenge? What is this 10-minute challenge that I'm talking about? Here in this room, all of you who are sitting, do you think it's possible to start an e-commerce business in 10 minutes, right from technology to logistics to payment gateway to thousands of products listed on your platform? Do you think it's possible? Yes? No? How many of you say no? Can I see show of hands? Yeah? So let's take this challenge, and 10-minute challenge, okay? So can I request all of you to pull out your phones, download the Zoozle app. There are the Zoozle Zen app, and this is going to be damn interesting for you, okay? I know that I'm not trying to do a sales pitch because you are not my TG, right? Even if you download this app, it's okay if you get rid of it 10 minutes later. I'm not doing this because I want to pitch. So download this app. It's called Zoozle Zen, okay? Z-E-N. And what I'm going to show you is, can you do this? Start an e-commerce business in less than 10 minutes, right? So what you're going to do is download the Zen app, register, build your business, build your business online with your own store name, okay? If you can do this, and I also assure you that this is one challenge. If you finish within 10 minutes, in fact, if you finish within 3 minutes, no woman will complain. So take your time, please download, quickly register, and what you will see is that in less than probably 3 minutes, you would have started an e-commerce business. You will have more than 3,500 products available for you to sell, and there will be a store in your name, whatever name you've chosen, and you will be able to start earning money right away. That is Zoozle, right? So we've built this, we've launched about 2 months ago, and over the last 2 months, and before I get down to this, I just want to talk to you about who I am. Who am I? Many of you don't know what have I done before Zoozle. I have been an active angel investor in the ecosystem for the last about 8 to 10 years. I have been an investor with Dunzo. I have been an investor with Decentro, which is a Y Combinator company which did a Series A recently. Alt, the world's first digital real estate exchange, and several other, almost about 50 other, startups where I have been an investor, angel investor. Prior to that, I was global head of Just Dial, okay, from almost early 2000s when Just Dial was not a name that was very well known till 2015, until we got listed on the stock exchange. Post 2015 of Just Dial's listing, I've had 2 more companies that have gone on to list on the stock exchange, one in India and one in the US. That's been my journey pretty much over the last, 2 or 3 decades. So what is Zoozle? Has anybody completed? Has anybody set up a store? Can I see a show of hands? Yes, I see. There. Okay. So, we are already seeing that in less than 4 minutes, there are people who have completely set up your store. It's operating in your name right now, and you're able to start selling products. That's what we've created for our reseller network. Meesho did this. Meesho did it in a different way. Okay, Meesho raised a lot of money. and built a reseller network. I think about 7 million resellers. The way we are going about it is that we are trying to build 2 million resellers. Over the last 2 months, we have got close to 15,000 resellers operating in India right now, as we speak. There are about 15,000 resellers. Where is the inspiration for this reseller network? And a little bit about me. I am completely, I don't have a degree. I couldn't educate myself. For those of you who might have seen some of my, stories, I lived on the Bangalore railway platform. Okay, for a short period of time, I was homeless. So everything that I have done is learned during my work, right? So that's the start of my life. The inspiration for this reseller network came from my mother. She's no more, she passed away many years ago. But when I was growing up, I saw my mother trying to sell products, saris or, dress materials or even cookies and so on and so forth, just to make sure that we got some food on the table, right? And that is what our background was. So when I saw my mother struggle, I remembered the kind of struggle that she had to just raise some kids, with no support. And when I look at India today, it's no different. There are millions and millions of people in the middle class who cannot earn what they need. So I thought, why not give all of them an opportunity? Why are we creating, earlier we were talking about unicorns, 100 unicorns in the country. I don't want to be a unicorn. I want to be a proficon, So, I love the story of Subhash because, he was talking about profits. I was part of Just Dial, which was built by money, one of the best entrepreneurs that I have seen in my life. He's raised only 250 crores in his lifetime and built a profit of more than 2,200 crores in its lifetime, right? Now, that, according to me, is real business. Being a unicorn, great, it's nice, it's vanity metrics, feels good for a country, but do we want to be a unicorn or do we want to be proficons? To me, I'm very clear what I'm trying to build. And as I speak today, in the last 2 months, we are operating at a unit economics level of about 14% on every transaction is what we are making, right? So we are staying away. So Subhash, we are staying away from selling mobile phones, okay? We are staying away from selling electronics. We do not want to compete in those categories where we can't make money. We are very clear what categories we are going to operate in. We are selling pet supplies, we are selling home decor products, we are selling saris, we are selling ready-to-stitch clothing. We don't even want to get into returns. Now, this is something that will be interesting for you. In the last 2 months, on all the transactions we have done, we have had 0 returns. 0 returns in a country which is used to 30-35% returns, right? And how is it different? Okay, we are actually not doing anything different. We are just doing things a little differently. We don't give COD. So that means 9 out of 10 buyers in the Indian market won't buy from us because they want COD. They don't trust the platform or they're just used to COD. Why did this happen? Think about it. Has it helped our economy? Has it helped our country? I don't think so. We don't do COD simply because we want to attract only serious buyers. We do not want somebody who wants to order a product and then decide whether to keep it or return it. It's hurting our economy and we all know that. We don't want to do that, right? Even on returns, do we allow returns on Zoozle? Yes, we allow returns on Zoozle, okay? But with a video unboxing proof that what you ordered is not what you got, or the product you got was damaged. If there was a damage or a wrong product, please return it. Otherwise, just for the sake of returning it, don't return it. It causes a lot of losses to the sellers on our platform. We may not lose money as a platform, but our sellers lose. So we are a business-centric platform, unlike other e-commerce platforms. We are not buyer-centric. We are business-centric, which means we care equally for our buyers and we care equally for our sellers. Without supporting the seller ecosystem, e-commerce will not survive. And I believe personally that over the next few years, even the largest platforms across the world will shy away from COD and no questions asked returns. We all know cases where people have ordered clothing, used it for a couple of days, and then returned it. they've hidden the tags and worn it and return it. We know these cases. Is it fair? Is it fair to the seller? I don't think it's fair to the seller. So on Zoozle, we already have about 7,000 products listed, 3,500 odd are live, another 3,500 odd going live in the next few days. Okay? We only sell made in India products. And now this is where I think as Indians we all should feel proud about. Right? We only sell made in India. We don't do COD. I already spoke about it. We have strict return policies. Now, if you are a seller and if you are a businessman, why should you one listing on Zoozle? Today you get 15,000 people selling your product across the country. It takes you probably one day to get listed. If you had to go and build a micro distributor network for yourself for 15,000 people, it will take you years. And I will give you 2 million resellers in less than 1.5 years from now. And these are 2 million resellers who really matter, who have at least a reach of about 300 million people in the country. That's approximately 150 people is the network, right? If you want to earn money, all you need to do is forward the right product. If you know a friend has a pet at home, you will forward it. You forward, if they like it, they buy it. If they don't like it, they don't buy it. But the beauty is that if you have started a store in your name, okay, your friend trusts. So our sellers also piggyback on the credibility of our resellers. If you tell a friend that I am selling something on my platform, your friend is likely to trust it more than any other platform because he knows you. If there's something that's going wrong, they can come to you, right? Our logistics are not managed by us. We are trying to be different, okay? Why? Why should we manage logistics in today's era? It was a time when large e-commerce platforms needed to do it 10 years ago in India. There was no organized logistics. Today you have Shiprocket, you have Picker, you have Delivery, you have so many such players who give logistics to the seller and they can manage logistics on their own. So why should I manage it? Let the seller manage it, right? Pricing control. We are not entering any price wars. I have come across a situation where a seller has given a price to a particular platform, and on that platform, the product was sold at a much lower price, decided by the platform. Now, what happened to this seller? A walk-in customer in a shop walks in and says, give me the same price, the online price. And the local shopkeeper says, no, I can't. I am not discounting there. And the buyer actually calls the shopkeeper a cheat. You've experienced this. I'm sure many of you have experienced this. Now, what has happened here? You can understand. Private label. How is private label hurting a shopkeeper? We all know this. I don't need to explain. We all know the perils of what is happening. As far as resellers is concerned, that's how our platform looks. If you see the name Sharma's on top, that's a store created by somebody called Sharma. Okay? And, that's how simple it is. You can just share. If you see below there, a product that is sold for 249 rupees, the reseller is earning 34 rupees. The reseller sees this, the buyer doesn't see this. The buyer side app is different. Okay? And for buyers, why should buyers buy from Zoozle? As I said right at the beginning, 9 out of 10 people will not buy from us today. We will have to wait for the industry to mature. We will have to wait for large platforms to kind of do away with COD. We'll have to do away with price wars. And we are creating an amazing loyalty program for the buyers on Zoozle. So that is why, and most importantly, payment protection. So when a buyer buys from any of the platforms, what we do is we do not pay money to the seller at least for 7 days after the product is delivered to the buyer. Right? So that means a buyer has 7 days where his money is safe in an escrow with us. That's what we've built. Right? Like I already said this, we'll have to wait for the market to mature. We will grow slowly. We don't have any VC funding. We're not looking for it. We are comfortable with what we have from friends and family. We will grow this business on our own. Okay, until we reach a size, having proven the fact that we will be able to continue to make money, right? And the minute we cross 1,000 crore turnover, that's when we will look at what's our growth strategy beyond that. So our first goal is to reach 1,000 crore GMV at about 9 to 10% gross margin. If we are able to, do that over the next 2.5 years, then we will look at it. Until then, we are comfortable. We have various monetization models in place already. We monetize because we are the only platform who has a subscription-based capability both for national and local as well as hyper-local, which means that if you're a seller who's selling cakes for birthdays, you could still list on Zoozle and get business locally. That's hyper-local, within 5-kilometer radius, right? And our resellers can help you get that business. For example, our first seller of cakes got listed recently and in Bangalore, and he's got 1,800 resellers with that one listing. Only Bangalore I'm talking about, right? And our listing, his listing comes with a subscription, so he was very happy because there is no percentage to be paid, right? So we are innovating. We are innovating in such a way that we can survive and we can be profitable. Our approach is different. We can afford to do this. Somebody has to lead this change in the e-commerce business because the current e-commerce business in India is not making sense to most people, right? We see, we'll talk about what else do we see as a problem? Where do we go? Our subscription model allows us to go anywhere in the world, right? Look at those articles over there. There is an article which says that Amazon takes almost 50% cut from sellers. This is not me saying it. It's an article in The Entrepreneur. There's another article in the Financial Times that talks about Meesho cutting expenses by 90%, burn by 90%. What's led to this? Look at it. I mean, CAC is so high in the industry. If you're spending that kind of money to get a customer where there is no loyalty, at the end of the day, the customer is still going after lowest price in the market. High returns, cash on delivery, being buyer-centric, being inventory-led, all of this has caused GMV focus rather than profit focus, okay? All of this has led to what we are seeing today in the industry. And this has to change. And somebody has to lead this change. But was this needed? Of course it was needed because India was not an e-commerce market. People were not ready to buy online. So whatever Amazon did, Flipkart did, Meesho did, of course they did a great job, right? But I think it was overdone. I think it was overdone in pampering the consumer to an extent that the consumer feels entitled to get everything at a cheaper price, everything in 1 hour without having to pay anything extra. I think that is what happened. What happened to employees? Hugely overpaid employees, and then you start firing people because there is a shift in strategy. From being GMV focused, you move to profit focused because the VC community stops funding you. Now these employees don't have jobs. No one else can afford to pay them these kind of salaries. We have a problem on hand, right? What happened to the industry? There is a huge barrier for newcomers to come and operate in this market. So there are many of these problems that have been created. How big is the Indian e-commerce market? We all know. There are about 300 million shoppers, 2.1 million sellers. The rest of the data is all known to you. Now in such a big market, right, if we can bring profitability and if we can bring sensible e-commerce, which is what we are going to try, we want to succeed, we need all of you to support us, and we are looking forward to, whatever support we can get from the ecosystem. Now when I said at the beginning, download the app, right, I saw that very few people actually did it. If you really want to make a difference, support businesses that are trying to be profitable and making sense for sellers and buyers. So that's the request that I have. We have, an ebook. If you have sellers in the ecosystem that you want to give, an opportunity to list, it's available. You know where the app is available. If you know people in your ecosystem that can become resellers, support us, help us grow. That is what we are looking for. Thank you so much. Sure. So the question is how different are we from ONDC? ONDC is a platform that's been built by the government. I'm a huge fan of Nandan. Amazing platform. I think it's very early days. They're doing about 15,000 transactions a day. 11,000 is food. Okay. The problem with it is there are 11,000 transactions that they've been able to take out from Zomato and Swiggy. simply because the price on ONDC is much lower. But there are complaints that the food is cold, it takes longer and stuff like that. It's very early days for ONDC. I'm a big fan. One day I would definitely like us to see listed on the ONDC platform, either on the buyer side or the seller side. We will figure out as we go. But at this point of time, I think it's a great moment for Indian e-commerce with ONDC coming in, right? So we will have to wait and watch. I am not yet ready to be on ONDC at this point. Maybe in a, in a few months we will wait and watch. Does it answer your question? Thank you. Yes. Sorry, I can't hear you. If you don't mind, can you come here?
Hi, so I'm Vivek. I'm co-founder of Yellow Bites, which is a health food brand, and I'm selling on Amazon and Flipkart, in fact. So I'm gonna, look forward to listing on your platform, but you don't have that category live yet. So when are you launching that category?
No, we have that category live. Please list.
Okay.
And our platform is called Zoozle. It's very easy to remember. We are hugely inspired by Google, and we have just taken that name, changed the G to the Z. Okay.
Yeah, we have just downloaded.
Remember
and another question is that see, the problem with for sellers is when they
what?
Rating customers, which then
Yes.
can be shared across multiple
Absolutely.
sellers.
Absolutely. It's very early days for us because we are just 2 months old, right? But that is something that is in the pipeline. I have my co-founder and CTO Varun out there, and he is actually smiling because that's something that we've been building quietly, and that we will be taking it live as soon as we have enough, users.
My point is this, is that I work with startups all the time. So my name is Guhesh. So in case you want to speak to somebody who's already built this thing out for you, maybe I could connect them to you.
Please
That's
do.
all that
Please do. Yeah. I think we've run out of time.
Yeah.
If there are any other questions, I'll take it offline. Thank you so much.